The history of canning. Imagine a time before refrigerators, before vacuum sealing, before modern packaging. If you wanted to keep food fresh, your options were drying, salting, smoking, or fermenting. But all these methods changed the flavor, and none guaranteed long-term preservation. The story of canning begins with a question that was once a matter of life and death. How do we feed armies and sailors on long journeys without the food rotting away? It's the late 1700s. Europe is at war. Napoleon Bonaparte's French armies are marching across the continent. They fight hard, but one of their greatest enemies is not the Austrian army nor the Prussians. It is hunger. Spoiled food, malnutrition, and disease kill more soldiers than bullets. Napoleon issues a challenge.
The army marches on its stomach. Whoever can invent a method to preserve food safely and cheaply will earn a prize of 12,000 francs.
This bold offer lights the fuse for a food revolution. Enter Nicholas Appert, a French confectioner and brewer. He experiments obsessively, sealing food in glass bottles with corks and wax, then heating them in boiling water. To his surprise, the food stays fresh. Meat, vegetables, milk, even soup. In 1810, after 14 years of trial and error, Appert publishes his discovery, the art of preserving all kinds of animal and vegetable substances for several years. He becomes known as the father of canning. But Appert's method has a weakness. Glass is fragile, heavy, and breaks easily on the battlefield. That same year in England, a man named Peter Durand patents a new idea, preserving food in containers made of tin-plated iron. Stronger, lighter, and more practical for soldiers and sailors.
This new container, made of tin-plated iron, will preserve food for soldiers and sailors.
By the 1820s, British companies were producing canned meat and vegetables for the Royal Navy. Sailors who once relied on hardtack and salted beef now had access to pea soup, roast beef, even plum pudding in cans. It wasn't perfect. The cans were so thick they had to be opened with a hammer and chisel, but it worked. Food could travel across oceans and last for years. As the 19th century rolled on, canning spread quickly. Factories in Europe and America churned out canned salmon, oysters, fruits, and beans. The California Gold Rush and the American Civil War created huge demand. Miners, soldiers, and settlers all needed food that wouldn't spoil.
But there was a deadly problem. People didn't yet understand bacteria.
Heating was inconsistent. Some cans carried botulism, a silent killer. Stories of canned death haunted the industry. Still, progress continued. By the late 1800s, improvements in heating and sealing made canning safer. The invention of the can opener in 1855 finally made it easier to open a can without brute force.
In the mid-1800s, Louis Pasteur's work on germs explained why Appert's method worked.
Heating killed microbes. Airtight sealing kept them out. Science had finally caught up with practice.
By the early 1900s, automated machinery revolutionized the industry. What once took hours could be done in minutes. Canned foods became cheap, reliable, and part of everyday life. Canned milk fed infants. Canned vegetables brought nutrition to cities. Canned goods even fueled explorers in the Arctic and Antarctic, where fresh food was impossible.
Both world wars pushed canning to new heights. Soldiers depended on rations of canned meat, beans, and soup.
Factories shifted into overdrive, producing billions of cans.
After the wars, canned food entered the home in a new way. Housewives were encouraged to serve canned pineapple, peaches, and Spam at the dinner table.
Canning symbolized progress, the ability to conquer time and distance, to make summer fruits available in winter, to carry food across continents and oceans. Today, more than 200 years after Nicholas Appert, the humble can remains one of the most successful food technologies in history. From beans and tuna to soups and sauces, billions of cans are produced every year. Canning has also inspired home preservation movements. Generations of families have gathered in kitchens, sealing jars of tomatoes, jams, and pickles. It's not just about survival anymore. It's about tradition, sustainability, and connection to the past. Even as vacuum sealing, freezing, and high-tech packaging advance, the can endures. Simple, sturdy, recyclable, and effective. A reminder that one man's obsession, born from the hunger of war, reshaped how humanity eats. The history of canning is not just about food. It is about innovation under pressure, about the fight against time, and about how ordinary meals can carry extraordinary stories. From Napoleon's battlefields to your pantry shelf, the can is more than just a container. It is a symbol of human ingenuity,